injury start the season. How's the body holding up?
Yeah, it's getting there. I'd only played 5 or 6 games, and then I had this innocuous ankle injury turned into having to get surgery. And then on my return, I rolled the other ankle, the good ankle. So yeah, when it rains, it pours. But yeah, I'm still hanging in there.
Have you ever been 100% fit apart from maybe your first ever game of rugby?
Yeah, it's a long time since I've been 100% fit, and provided you're playing somewhere above 85%, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, down 70, 65, you're going to be in trouble. But yeah, it's part and parcel of dealing with knocks and bumps and bruises, and you just get on with it.
We've timed it well coming back, Six Nations starting. Is this going to be your last Six Nations, you think?
There's every chance. Yeah, listen, I haven't really allowed myself to think about finishing. I think if you start deciding early, you've one foot into retirement already. So I haven't really allowed myself to think about it. That'll be to be decided another day. Later on in the season, I'm contracted till the summer, so I'll see that out, and then I'll see how the body feels. But there's a strong possibility that this could be the last one.
The captaincy has been given to Jamie Heaslip. What were your thoughts on that?
Initial thoughts were disappointment. It's something that I've been captain for the best part of 10 years with the national team, and I suppose it sat pretty comfortably on my shoulders. But then Jamie did a good job back in November, and I presume Declan's looking to look forward to the 2015 World Cup, and I'm not going to be part of that. So you have to look at it and be realistic. And I can still add my tuppence worth of leadership and give him a helping hand where needs be. But definitely the less glamorous parts of the captaincy I won't miss. I think the honour of captaining your country, leading the team out, introducing them to presidents and dignitaries is a very, very special feeling, and you never bore of that. And yeah, it's something that not leading the team out now. I'll have to find my own spot in the team and in the lineup, but. It won't be too hard. I'm sure that I'll grab hold of Raj and get him in a headlock. And
how have the Irish preparations gone? Because quite a successful autumn series, maybe disappointment against South Africa, but are you ready for the Six Nations?
Yeah, we've had a good last week's training. I think that week in the lead up to the Six Nations can be invaluable. Getting a lot of work done, so you hit the ground running in the week of the first game. Obviously, we have Wales first up, which is, with the Six Nations, the first game is pivotal. Yeah. You win it and straight away you've got momentum. You lose it and straight away you're on the back foot. Yeah. So that's going to be a huge game for both teams. But I think we have to use the positives that we got in November and a big result against Argentina to kind of carry forward and hopefully use that momentum in getting going early in the Six Nations.
A lot of new players coming in. You had your old heads for maybe a decade now, but your Connors, your Garas, Tommy Bowe's injured, so we've got a lot of fresh new faces coming in there.
Yeah, it's a new team. There's a huge freshness to it, but that brings enthusiasm and. An element of the unknown, and sometimes that can be, blissful ignorance can be brilliant too. I remember being that person back in the early 2000s and not understanding the enormity of occasions, and I think that can work in your favour sometimes.
Going to Cardiff is always a big occasion. It's a great place to play. And you have kind of mixed emotions in Cardiff, haven't you?
Yeah, I do. I think for me, the Millennium's the best rugby stadium I've ever played in. It's just... the atmosphere is incredible. I think you always get a good vibe with Welsh and Irish fans. They really give it socks. And I've had a lot of games where there's been a lot to play for. Yeah. With Grand Slam game for Wales in 2005, and we could have won the Triple Crown. Obviously our own Grand Slam in 2009. And then there's been a couple of tight games 2 years ago, small decisions going one way or another, and that's the difference. So there's not a huge amount between the teams. It's who performs best on the day, and Wales have had had the run of it the last few games, and we
Yeah.
need to try and stop that.
They seem to have, like your bogey set at the moment, and in the World Cup, and it's, you do play against each other a lot in the Rabo 12, so it's a very kind of awkward game to start the tournament, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a very tricky one, and before I came in, we had before I came into the international setup, we had quite a good record in Cardiff, and then for the first few years we went well, and then we've really slowed down and not been able to get those results that we would have hoped for, and I think part of it is because Wales have become a very different team than the early 2000s. They've evolved into a very competent team with very confident players. They understand what brand they're trying to play, and they've won 3 slams in the last 7 or 8 years, and that has a knock-on effect to the younger guys in gaining confidence from what they've seen Welsh teams do, and particularly at home they've been very strong the last few years. So we're definitely going to have our work cut out. I know there's a bit of an injury list, particularly in the second row with Wales, but they've got pretty good strength and depth, and guys that are able to change from back row to second row. Guys like Ryan Jones have a wealth of experience and have that ability to move around. I think that's where Ireland have fallen down, is that we've been wonderful at times and then really had substandard performances. So it's about to be in the Shake Up at the last weekend, you've got to have that level of consistency throughout the competition. But we've realised it took us 61 years to win a Grand Slam, and to win 5 consecutive games is bloody hard in this competition, because everyone can beat everyone else.
The Lions is a long way off in your mind, but that will be your last Lions tour.
You can be
Unless you take
pretty confident of that.
Are those vitamin tablets are really going well? But I think everybody talks about his Lions team, and everyone's asked to name his 15 and everything. But selection is going to be very, very tough. But maybe the toughest choice will be who will be captain. Would you be delighted to accept that again?
I think it would be an honour that would be too big to pass up again. You're right. Everyone has picked their Lions 15. You must have known that you were interviewing me, because I managed to sneak into yours, albeit
I'll change it next week.
Okay, cool. Who are you interviewing Jamie next week? So listen, there's always so much hype in the build-up to it, but that's the part of the anticipation about the tour, and that's the greatness of the Lions. It just shows the achievement involved in getting on the tour in the first place. But to captain it would be a massive honour. I got to do it once, albeit only for 45 seconds of a test match. But it would be nice to have another opportunity. But first and foremost, I got to put myself in a position to get on the tour and deserve my spot.
Good luck with all the rugby this season, but maybe more importantly, you're going to become a dad in a few weeks' time. Yeah,
first time father, very, very exciting. Rugby is important in your life, but it pales in significance when you have those sort of things on the horizon. So I'm really excited about it, somewhat petrified, but we'll manage. Everyone else seems to manage, so I'm sure we'll do likewise.
Good luck, and get some sleep in.
Thanks a lot. Cheers. Thanks, Jimmy.